Hello, everybody. It's Monday. It's Labor Day. I'm going to get ready to go outside and do some barbecue. But before that, this is just a great story. It's a Bigfoot encounter about three guys in a canoe in 2014 um, getting their last fishing trip in for this season. Hope you like it, and here we go. If I can pull this up, here we go. We were canoeing down the River Raison in southern lower Michigan. It was myself, my name is Jim, and I was with my friend Bill and John, as the three of us always went to the River Raisin prior to Labor Day weekend to get some of our last fishing days in. This story takes place back in 2014. We brought along our two-man tents and some gear to find a spot at the Natural Wilderness Preserve in case we wanted to stay the night, which, by the way, Rob, always happens. Or if we found a nice campsite while canoeing both up and down the river. After parking our vehicle and taking all of the gear out of the truck and loaded it into the canoe, we were ready for the adventure. Loading the canoe, we entered the Raisin River. The River Raisin. Sure enough, after 20 minutes into the trip down the river, we found a spot that called out to us and said, "Yep, this is our camp spot." Bill, John, and myself almost certainly knew we were going to spend more than a day here. We pulled the canoe up on shore and unloaded all of our gear. We set up our camp, the tents, our coolers, food, and other utility items. We then proceeded back into the canoe with a cooler filled with water, some beers, and some dry jerky. Most importantly, though, was our fishing gear, in hopes to land some fish to complement the minimal supply of food that we had brought with us. Very prepared guys, these guys. Our very first day of fishing was productive. We landed about 4 northern pike, a host of panfish, and even some lunker largemouth bass that always put up a hell of a fight, along with the northerns. The three of us guys had noticed a lot of turned up stumps in the river that provided a great spot for fish to hide, and it did help provide in our successful fishing day. The stumps seemed to multiply every time we got into stronger currents, not quite like rapids, but certainly doubled our speed traversing the river. In fact, a few times we had bumped into these stumps, giving us quite a jolt to our canoe. Day one, well, it was getting late, so we had decided to circle back to camp and fillet our day's catch. After eating our meal, we sat around our fire talking about what guys talk about: the wives, work, the kids, typical guy stuff, sports, etc., etc. Then, in the distance, we started hearing animal sounds, but these sounds, we could not put a finger on them. John had said, "Hey guys, these sounds, they sound almost like whoops or something I have never heard." Bill had exclaimed back, "Well, not to sound funny, but Bigfoot has been known to make these sounds, kind of like a whoop sound that we're hearing." John and I, kind of joking, poked fun back at Bill. "Ha ha ha, Bill. Yeah, right, Bigfoot." We all brushed it off and went to sleep. The next morning, we proceeded back down the river in the hopes of having another successful fishing day. This day provided more than we had bargained for. As we canoed down the river, we once again got caught in a mighty current. We had to do our best to avoid hitting these topical stumps in the water. Continuing to bang off the deadfall, we came directly on top of a massive stump that was impossible to avoid. Then, the stump seemed to submerge into the water beneath the top as we were about to hit it. Then, out of nowhere, our canoe was raised up out of the water at least 10 feet high and spilled us into the river. The three of us are now more than a waist high in the water and watched the canoe and all of our contents travel downstream. Upon getting our bearings, the three of us, at about arm's length apart, see what appears to be a bear's backside. At least That is what we first thought, a bear. But this was an upright animal walking on two legs. It had to be at least 8 foot tall. The backside was dark brown and black. And as it headed to the woodline, we saw a massive fish, at least 30 inches in length, being held in the creature's left hand with ease as it quickly disappeared into the woods. Rob, to shorten the story, we got the canoe back, and the three of us, still startled, sat at the river's edge to ponder what we saw. The only conclusion we came up with, and I agree, that bears do not have hands. Bears do not walk gracefully on two legs, upright, out of a river, carrying a fish, much like we carry a twig. Rob, I'm not saying this was Bigfoot, but it most definitely was not a bear or any other animal of the forest. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it made your Labor Day pretty cool. I know you probably listened to this a little later. Everybody's probably out in their yards. Subscribe and share. Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. Again, happy Labor Day to everybody. Until next time, BMR is out.